Hey, attention to detail.
It's showbiz, baby.
Yeah, you know how it goes. Welcome, everybody. Leave it at the table. Kyle Wright, Drew Gorman. Drew, we're talking about fall tonight. The leaves are brown.
Oh.
Well,
we weren't supposed to fall?
Go down.
Well, where I need my life alert.
We talk about autumn. Do you know her?
No. I don't know about Alaska.
Yeah, funny. Quite the day. Quite the day today. Drew's finally here before 7 o'clock, and
I got here at like 5:30.
Drew got here before me today. So fun fact, little kind of uncharted territory.
I totally forgot that you had started your job, and I had gotten off work like super early, getting out and being able to go home and actually hang out at the house before coming out here. And then I was like, what am I doing? I could be sitting around just drinking a beer with Kyle before we go on and making sure everything's squared away and ready to go.
Which glad we did that. That.
So hopped in the car, hopped in my truck and started heading this way, and didn't even think twice about it. And Kyle calls me. He was like, hey, what time should I expect you? I was like, I'm coming around the corner to Callaway right now on 98.
Oh, I'm leaving Edgewater. See you soon.
He's like, I'll be there in 30 minutes. I was like, well, I'm like 5 minutes out. So, well, I just sat in his driveway for a little bit and did a little hanging out.
Today was, when did we start the Ride On Network? That was 2021, but like maybe kind of late in 2021.
It had already started before I had gotten there.
So you came on in early
for the draft
of 2022
April
draft.
2022.
Okay, yeah. So it would have been late 21, early 22. That's probably the last time I worked on a Wednesday. Like I think maybe once or twice here and there. Wow. So today's been weird for me. Like Wednesday was always that day where like I would work Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, work the 3 days, get that reset day in the middle, then work 2 days, and then get another day off. So today was new for me. What are you calling me a dummy for, Shelby? I don't know.
No, she's calling me a dummy for not even thinking about you having a job and just coming out here.
For being early.
Hi, Mom. How's it going? Yeah, for being early and
shout out to Mom. Yeah,
actually being here, and whenever I say I'm going to be here. So I mean, we'll see whenever Miss Shelby wants to make her appearance.
I maybe during spring break. Maybe we'll make it work.
That's all she says. Spring break, spring break, spring break.
Yeah, it was supposed to be Christmas break, but Christmas is on a Wednesday, so it's not going to happen.
I'll be in Tennessee Christmas.
Yeah, you're staying for Thanksgiving. Is that official? We're not doing an episode that week, so don't feel pressure to.
I don't know.
We're not doing an episode.
Well, I say I'll be in Tennessee for Christmas. I tried to get off for that Monday. We're already taking off Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. My job is closing for those days. Well, I tried to take off for that Monday just so I could use that before weekend and then that whole week because I just found out, and apparently my aunt is really pushing for all of us to be there up in Tennessee for Christmas, so we can't shut your face. Nope, I won't. I have a mic in front of my face and a camera. I can't shut my face. This would be a long, boring episode if it was just Kyle.
He's a lot better with his face open.
But yeah, I ended up I'm talking to them about possibly trying to take off that Monday, but the only word that I could get from them was it depends on how busy the schedule is, and I won't know until the week before because me being the only installer, it makes it hard for them to kind of project and get me out of here.
Shout out to Rick Ty, him and his wife Lucinda. We need to talk about that off the air. I don't know what you're doing Sunday, but I'm gonna. Hey Rick,
I'm hanging out with you, aren't I?
We're gonna, yeah. So Rick, if you don't mind, shout out to Rick Ty. Shout out to your wife Lucinda, man. We love you guys. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for supporting us always. If you don't mind, send me a text with some information. We're gonna be at church this Sunday. We're gonna come see you guys at Rock Solid. So we're looking forward to that. So I think me, my wife, will probably bring the kids, and then Drew will be there, and I still got to talk to David as well. So.
And Shelby, I'm so glad you brought up my shirt.
Yeah, show us the shirt.
It's a beautiful shirt.
Let's look at it. Get us yeah. All of our sports friends are like, I don't know what that means, Drew.
It's Jaden Daniels. It does not say Jack Daniels. It says Jaden Daniels, who is a property of LSU, formerly of Arizona State, as well as Southern California, as it says on the shirt, on the very bottom of it.
He's from Southern Cal.
Developed in California, Arizona, and Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Arizona State, baby.
Yeah. And it says Washington quarterback because the first day I wore it, my father-in-law looks at me and he was like, I'm trying to figure out exactly what it says. He was like, who is Jaden Daniels? And I looked down at the shirt to show him where it says old number 5 Washington quarterback, and he goes, oh, I guess he's the quarterback for Washington, huh? I said, yes, that's exactly who he is. And it makes sense. And I love I got a Facebook ad, and they definitely targeted me, and it worked out perfectly for them because I ended up, while I was there, I ended up buying another shirt. So it worked out perfectly.
See, that's how it goes. You bring the attention to the page. I just had this conversation today with my new boss, and I think this job is going to be incredible. And that's the thing about getting people to buy merchandise stuff. Like if you could draw them into the store, if you could draw them to your page, that's how you do it. We're gonna get merchandise here eventually. By the way, no free ads is gonna be on that shirt somewhere.
Oh, it's got to be. That is our tagline, dog.
The only free ad is that you're advertising for our podcast.
Yeah, the free ad is like, share, comment, and subscribe, please.
Yeah.
Shout out to everybody who has taken the time to do that, and we would love for you to continue to do that.
If you don't hit the share button, you don't love us. I think that's more than fair to say.
And looking at the viewers right now, 90% of our viewers are family, so I would hope they love us.
I don't think the number that we see up there is accurate because when I look at my Facebook, it doesn't okay, so I'll go to my page, right? And
it'll say Shelby and 5 others.
Plus 7 others.
Hey.
Yeah, so right, I don't know. The algorithms are strange, but hey, we're doing good.
And that's just Facebook right there. Who knows? Cheers. Who knows what the YouTubes is doing?
So you want to get into the point of tonight's episode? We're talking election coverage, folks. I'm just kidding.
Well, at the end of the day,
just kidding, by the way.
A person won and a person lost.
Yeah.
And that's all I'll say. Go Tigers.
Yeah, no election talk. We're just kidding, by the way. Everybody don't go into full panic meltdown mode, please. It was a long day at work, so
for, like we said, tonight's our fall special. Just kind of want to relax. The both of us, we want to get back to the basics. Just 2 of us.
It's just us. Yes, yeah. It's 2 of us. Pick up the guitar.
I can't do it like Brian can.
Old DB, what a show! What a show last week.
That was fun.
All right, what do we got? Oh, they're in the comments. Let them fight in the comments. Hey, y'all can fight in the comments. Just
bring it up, baby.
Do me a favor. Hit the share button.
Yes.
Hit the share button.
Yeah, please.
We got you. Tell your friends about us. Tell them like, hey, these 2 idiots are talking about about a season of the year, but we're gonna make it fun.
So, number 1 on my little, as you called it, my little questionnaire.
My little questionnaire.
we're waiting to unmute, and he goes, "Hey, you got that little questionnaire?" He goes, "Wait, no, let me not put it like that because it sounds disrespectful."
Disrespectful as hell. Where's your cute little questionnaire?
It was cute until I copy and pasted it into our docs page.
We worked on some stuff before this show today.
Hey,
we got some cool stuff coming down the pipe. I'm not much looking forward to next week, but yeah. Anyway,
we got some fun stuff coming up, and we like, hey, when I can get here on early, we could get some stuff done. Because I can't expect you, and I appreciate everything that you have done for the past couple of months. I know you've been literally handicapped and haven't been able to leave this area, but it has been a blessing in my mind knowing that you've been able to be on the Facebooks at all times and handle the publicity for us and do that. Now that you have a regular 9-to-5 job, I need to start pulling my own weight. So and I did that a little bit today with our shout out post earlier. So
appreciate that. I didn't have the chance today to really play it, like mess around on my phone or anything. And obviously, that's not really something I ever did it work anyway. But it was, today spent a lot of time talking and learning and like just kind of brainstorming and doing stuff. I didn't look at my phone from, I think, maybe glance at it a couple times between like 10 and 3 p.m. But then by the time I looked, I'm like, I haven't done any promotion for this episode tonight. So, and ironically enough, we have like probably the highest viewer count that we've had in a while. So cool. So all we have to do is not promote our stuff and you guys will come support us.
And yes, he is driving. I saw the man pull in a taxi. That minivan is a taxi.
So it's funny because driving's hard for me right now because obviously, number one, I have to set the seat almost all the way back so that I can almost I can almost sit about not quite halfway up the seat, but I have to bring my ass up a little bit, like a couple of inches into the seat so that I can keep my legs straight while I'm trying to drive. So it's hilarious.
So you're driving from the back seat.
Yeah, I'm like, it look like Shaquille O'Neal, baby.
Well, you do that anyway in your Optima.
Yeah, that's fair.
No free ad.
Dude, I just thought about it. Like, I don't know why I'm not attempting to drive the Kia because I had a lot of room in the Kia. So I should probably be attempting to drive that.
At least give it a shot.
I just don't want it to break down again. Because last time I drove it, the fuel pump went out, and I'm like, and I had money to fix it then, and I didn't do it. And now I'm like, well, I ain't got no money because the unemployment thing that you talked about there for a minute. Shelby says, glad I'm not riding with you to Disney. No, I'm not driving to Disney next week. By the way, looking forward to my trip to Disney World next week. We told Carson about it.
I saw.
I'm very much looking forward to it, but I'm also very much not looking forward to it because what the hell do you do if you can't bend your leg?
You should. How
you wish upon a star.
Hey, Disney is the place where magical dreams come true. You never know what might happen in a week, baby.
How much fentanyl do you have to take to be able to bend your knee without feeling pain? I've never done it, but I don't know if there's a fine line between dying and I can bend my knee without hurting it.
I'm sure there is, but good Lord, give it a week. I'm sure. Just keep working at it. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep doing those exercises. And tell that physical therapist that you're seeing. Tell him like, hey, this is what I'm gaining towards. What do you realistically think I can do?
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Daniel says all of it.
Whoa.
Right, I can see you. Splash Mountain is no longer Splash Mountain, but I can see that you have your leg up and you're going down and you're just riding in the back seat, but your foot's in the front.
Essentially, for the first little while when I was in the straight cast, I couldn't sit in the front seat, so I had to sit in the back seat, and I get car sick, so I'm like in the back, like. All right, hit me with the first one. Let's talk about fall, autumn.
Fall, that's what you did at the ball field. Fall activities. What's your favorite fall activity? Some examples include hay rides, pumpkin carving, and trick or treating.
None of that shit. Favorite fall activity is plopping on the couch all day on Saturday and watching College Game Day, watching college football all day. I mean, I don't. And also, okay, let's get away from we're gonna get into football. I'm sure we're gonna have a big conversation about football at some point, so I won't do that. Man, it's the changing of the season, and it's finally not too hot outside to pull the grill out.
Yeah,
because obviously everyone likes to grill out in the summer, but standing in front of the hot grill when it's 105 degrees outside is not fun no matter what. So like when it finally drops into the mid 60s to the low 80s even, it's like, man, I could finally pull the grill out and do some cooking. So I'll say that, grilling out.
Here recently, it's been everybody thinks of spring being the time for spring cleaning. For me, it's been a fall cleaning. Give a little backstory for everybody. Right now, I've got a shed in my backyard.
Shed, SHED.
Yeah, a shed in my backyard that whenever we bought the house, I told my wife, I was like, that's going to be my man cave. And she was like, okay, well, you got to take care of it. And we've been in that house since 2020. I have not taken care of it. So it has not been my man cave. And then the other day, kind of me and the wife were talking, and we were, saw a guy driving a big brand new TV in the bed of his truck, and I said, I want to go get one of those. I've got a little disposable income right now. I'm going to go buy a new TV. Told the wife.
Must be nice.
It is. What do you want me to say to that?
Danielle called me broke when we were talking about the election last night. I was like, will you call me fat or something so I could take my mind off this? She goes, I'm not calling you fat, you broke piece of shit or something like that. It's like, okay.
Good God.
All right, go ahead.
But yeah, that whole conversation started into redoing the shed in the backyard for the man cave, and so we started cleaning it out. It was, at the time, a month ago, it was low. The highs were in the high 70s, so it was like 76, 77 degrees, which is absolutely perfect when you're outside doing doing work, literally cleaning everything out of your shed, doing all that, and going back and forth. So it's a slow process whenever you can only work on weekends, redoing a shed. But I mean, I've actually stuck to it, which is surprising to me, of all people, that I'm actually sticking to it and actually putting forth the effort to build it and redo it and all that. So I'm pretty excited. So I'm gonna say fall. My favorite fall activity has been fall cleaning and working on this man cave. So by the time the next fall comes around, I've got my own little shed out in the backyard that I can have people over so we can watch the game. I've already got a couch in there. I've already got a dartboard. Already have a beer cooler in there. I have a keg that has beer in it. That's had beer in it since like 2004. So it's you probably don't want any of that. But
hey, maybe that's part of the opening weekend.
From what I understand, if you bring your own keg, it's cheaper because you're just basically, it's like a propane tank. You recycle it in, and they give you a cheaper bit for it. And I've got a buddy of mine who wants to help me get the fridge that I've got in there and turn it into a beer cooler, and turn it a beer fridge with the keg inside of it. I can't kegerator. That's the word I'm looking for.
That was like peak Right On Network, by the way.
Yes,
when we had tap beer in the
that
studio.
was, oh my God, that was
dangerous.
Lovely.
Dangerous.
Oh, especially with some of the beers that he had on tap.
He had them IPAs in there.
Oh, that was that live on a show.
I remember them Sunday morning shows. Sometimes we were like, oh.
We get in, first thing we do, is it too early? Shoot,
It's
that's
9.
a stupid question.
We're talking sports. It's 9 a.m. Let's drink.
Yeah, why not?
Idiots.
We're getting ready. All right, so fall foods. What's your favorite fall food? Some examples include caramel apples, candy corn, and pumpkin spice drinks. I'll go here.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because I love candy corn. Candy corn is like one of my favorite guilty pleasures around this time. Everybody loves those. I guess we'll lump in Christmas time around here.
You like candy corn?
Oh yeah.
I'm sick and tired of the disrespect for candy corn.
No,
I'm just saying, like, thank you. Yeah, I saw Danielle said candy corn as well. You like candy? Like, I love candy corn.
Yeah.
I'm so sick and tired of the disrespect that candy corn gets. It's unwarranted and it's ridiculous.
Yeah, candy corn is amazing. Like, it's. Do you know why it's called candy corn? Because you can stack it and it looks like a corn on the cob because the yellow on the outside. It's really cool. Corn.
You're so innocent.
Oh,
I got my answer coming, baby.
But everybody loves the I guess we'll lump Christmas time in here as well because of this time frame, and everybody loves whenever the Christmas tree, Little Debbie, no free ads, those come out. I'm not a big fan of them.
Oh no,
I'm not. Candy corn's my favorite sweet tooth. Candy corn and Reese's around this time, that's when I really indulge into sweets.
It is Reese's season. This is when I really like Snickers bars. Them little mini Snickers bars are. Yeah, I think for sweet treats, Blow Pops and Snickers, like for some reason, are synonymous with Halloween for me. So like having
Reese's
those
are synonymous for me.
But as far as savory food, bro.
He said, not only that, but
Hey, baby.
I got beans, greens, potatoes, tomatoes, lamb, rams, hogs, dogs, chicken, turkeys, rats.
Dogs.
Woo! Hallelujah! Here we go. She's gonna roll it again. We got the remix coming.
I got beans, greens, potatoes, tomatoes, lamb, rams, hogs, dogs, beans, greens, potatoes, tomatoes, chicken, turkeys, rats.
You name it.
Beans, greens, potatoes, tomatoes, lamb, rams, hogs, dogs, beans, greens, potatoes.
That's enough of that. Yeah, man. I mean, how can you not? Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Hallelujah.
Oh, it's absolutely wonderful.
I will never be skinny. I think I just realized that.
The honey, the glazed ham. Oh my god. I love
Something about like a blackened smoked turkey, maybe a fried turkey.
I'm not a fan of turkey. I don't do the turkey. I stay on the
Why the
hams.
hell are we friends?
I stay with the ham.
You like candy corn.
We're friends because if I don't eat all the turkey, that leaves more for you.
I'm in,
You're not
baby.
going to eat all the ham. I'm going to eat more of the ham. We're good. I know you. You're going to eat both of them, but you're
Shelby, you eat a lot of ham, right? That's her. Get it, and that's her last name. All right.
took me a second.
Deviled eggs. Chow, yes.
Oh yes,
yeah.
deviled eggs.
Deviled eggs are
Stuffing or I'm out. Yeah.
next to godliness.
Hey, talk about stuffing. One year
Don't make it.
One year my mom did a Cajun version of a turducken, and you never heard of a turducken?
Yeah, I know. I've heard it.
Okay.
I've heard of a turducken.
It was a turducken.
People do that, huh? Like that's a real like.
Oh, my mom went all out one year and made a turducken, and then on the very middle inside of the turducken, it was crawfish etouffee.
Deanna sea kelp.
Like that stuff was otherworldly.
Miss Deanna, please sea kelp.
But it was so hard to make that mom said this is the only time we're ever gonna get it.
I like stuffing, so I like. Obviously, I'm allergic to onions.
Fried chicken at Golden Corral.
That's all my dad eats is fried chicken.
What?
That's what we do for Thanksgiving and Christmas. By the way,
was the Popeyes closed, so you had to go to Golden Corral? What's
no free
going
ads.
on? What are we doing?
No
here?
free ads on this show, Kenny. Yeah, dude. I mean, Thanksgiving food. The ham. Like my ideal plate is a little turkey, a little ham. My ideal first plate is a little turkey, a little ham, a little mac and cheese, a little stuffing with the turkey gravy on top. Sweet potato souffle. My mom makes that.
I love sweet potatoes. Sweet potatoes are my favorite.
I think the kids call it bussin'.
Sweet potato yams. I don't care. Throw a little cinnamon sugar on top. Some
Crisped up
toasted marshmallows.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm in heaven. Okay.
God,
and-
I'm excited.
and
What are we
we're
like 3 weeks away from Thanksgiving? God.
6 feet under with a 16 Popeyes.
We might have to bury my dad with a box of fried chicken
Should we
and a jug of Milo's tea.
oh man.
All right, what do we got? We're just talking. Golly, we're getting stuck on the food.
Yeah.
I'll be here for like I'm actually drilling. I might have a problem.
I didn't get this big without trying, big fella.
I said that today. Like my boss looks at me today and goes, "Do you like barbecue?" And I'm like, "Look at me! Are you kidding me? What kind of question is that?
Like barbecue?
Do I like barbecue? Does your car like gas?"
Does a bear shit in the woods? Fall places. What's your favorite place to go in the fall? Some examples include apple orchards, pumpkin patches, and places to see the leaves change.
Since I've had kids, pumpkin patches are really cool. And just like Appleton Farms, no free ads, but shout out to those people up there, man. That place is beautiful. We didn't get to go this year, freaking incapacitated, and like, man, it really just kind of soured my mood on everything this year because you can't go up there on crutches. Everything's all muddy and like it was tough, man. This year sucked. We didn't get to go. I love it. I love going to pumpkin patches. Other than that, like
I just got a picture of you on crutches, and one goes in and
sounds like a bad Friday night. No, honestly, my old answer would have been the ball fields. Like something like I like softball year round is fun.
Yeah.
But softball on like Monday nights in the fall was always the best.
I love here recently. We've had a lot of. I've played the past couple of weekends, and it's not been the normal fall time like feeling that you normally get because what is synonymous with fall? Cooler weather, right?
Yeah, right.
So
Yeah, that ain't happened
the morning you get out there, you've got an 8 a.m. game. There's still frost on the ground. You're wearing your hoodie. You still feel a little cold. But by the time 10 o'clock rolls around, okay, you're taking the hoodie off. You're still in a long sleeve, but you're taking the hoodie off.
Playing a little thermal long sleeve.
Yeah, you're good. Then about 1 o'clock, 1 o'clock rolls around and you're rolling the sleeves up and you're like, okay, man, it's hot. And then if you're lucky enough, you get to play till 3 o'clock. Then you're rolling the sleeves back down because the sun's starting to set a little bit.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden the lights
Beautiful.
come on and it's 6 o'clock and all the sun's down and you're going, ooh, that's a chilly breeze. So you put the hoodie back on. You get the full effect of all the seasons in one day out at the ball fields, and you're enjoying it because you're out at the ball fields with your best friends, drinking beers, having fun, playing ball, playing a kid's game as an adult. That's my favorite. I love this time of year because you get to, it's not a billion degrees outside where you're looking for shade at every moment. You're not looking for that fan. You're not waiting to get that long break to leave and go to insert restaurant here. Sorry, Kenny, can't say that name. To get some AC during the middle of the day. You're able to hang out. You're able to play cornhole and hang out and just chill with your friends and bring the grill out to the ballpark because because everything's gonna be there and it's not a billion degrees and you're not, okay, we've got to be smart. We don't want to lose our legs sitting out in the sun all day.
Right.
If you've got a long break and you're in the winter side. So my favorite place is other than the ball field, probably my couch. so I can watch the games.
Football.
But that's very selfish of me.
Rick Ty says camping. I haven't been camping in probably about 12 years. So maybe that's something we could try to put together soon. I would love that. Even if it's just like 1 or 2 nights, we go to St. Andrew State Park or something and
Leave it at the table camping.
leave it at the table. And then what happens at the campsite, we leave that at the table too.
We might need some more experienced people because if you leave me and Kyle in charge, I don't know if we're gonna be ready to go.
How does this work? Do I pee in the fire?
Please no.
Matt Lolly said, Lolly, what the hell? Matthew says, Angelina's Christmas party.
Let me see you.
Me and Matt kill the karaoke. I hate that we didn't do a Christmas party last year, and now Angelina's is gone forever. Not gone forever, like for
Gone
everybody else,
without
but
you.
like gone but never forgotten.
What I'm excited for is now that I'm at a new job, they do according to what I've heard, they do a really cool Christmas party, and the fact that there's only 5 of us in the company, I'm excited.
Maybe get you a little bonus.
Your words, not mine, but I'm excited.
Yeah, that's well, that's in the wintertime episode. Peanut Festival, Shelby says, is this time of year, and they love it. Yeah, I haven't been to the Peanut Festival in about 6 or 7 years either. So that's something I need to probably.
Can you, for someone not from the area,
Yeah.
what exactly? Because I've always I went up there for a concert. Went to go see Riley Green with Joe Brewer a couple years ago, and ended up catching COVID that weekend. But I think I caught it before that.
Right.
But had a blast at the concert.
So the Peanut Festival is a large gathering of human trash at the Dothan Fairgrounds, and it's basically a massive fair. I think it might be the Alabama State Fair, honestly. Like you know how everybody has like their state fair. I think that's the biggest fair in the state of Alabama, and I think in the South, honestly.
Fair food is where it's at.
But yeah, the food's awesome out there.
Funnel
the
cakes,
atmosphere's
fried
cool.
Oreos.
A lot of live music, good. Like, and it's super packed, but it's not too crowded. You know what I mean? You know the difference. Like it's packed, but it's not crowded. There's just, man, the people suck. I mean, it's lower Alabama people, so do the math.
L.A., baby.
L.A. Yep.
Lower Alabama.
Not much of a winter this season. Going to be unseasonably warm. Oh, somebody warned us about that. We didn't vote for her.
I'm not excited for that.
Yeah, no. I hope that's not true.
That's
'cause
global warming, man.
global warming. Al Gore told us
He's from Arkansas.
we should have trusted Al Gore. Golly, where's this country gone?
To the future.
That better not be true. All right,
fall,
where we at?
fall memories. What's your fondest fall memory from your childhood?
Fondest fall memory.
I'll go ahead because I've got
Yeah.
one off the top of my head.
Yeah, I got to think about this one for a minute.
So back in Middle Tennessee, back whenever I lived up there, talk about county fairs and all that. We had what was called the Country Ham Festival. And
Some positive feedback on the new way we're doing our screens, by the way. So everybody that's watching, does it look good? Does it look better than it has? Let us know. Give us some feedback. Anyway.
so we had what was called the Country Ham Festival in little old Spring Hill, Tennessee.
Oh, little.
People
You
came
know
from
about them little Tennessee towns, baby.
Oh, good Lord. Stay out of them. People come from miles around to put up booths in this Country Ham Festival. And it's literally a big, pretty much, it's a big flea market but in a festival type. They have musicians playing all day. But the church that I was going to at the time, they had a booth where like you could go and get prayer, blah, 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 all that. This isn't our church episode. So, but me, I was probably like 11 or 12 at the time. And so, but my parents were very big in the church, like working for the church. So they voluntold me and my brother that we were going to help set up the tent and tear down later. Well, Saturdays in the fall, there's football. And at the time, my brother and I are playing football. So we're playing our little league football teams and all that. So we wake up at 7 a.m., go out, set up the tent, do all that, wearing our jerseys and everything and pants and everything because we're leaving straight from there to go to the ball fields to go play in our game. Well, we get out there. I'm hanging out. I'm having fun, seeing a bunch of people having fun with that, setting up the tent. We go to the ball fields, play our game. We end up beating the brakes off this team. And I'm the running back in safety at the time. Had probably one of my best games. It was nice, crisp. It was fall. It was everything you could imagine from a fall football game. Leaves changing because I was in Tennessee, not Florida. Leaves changing. Everything was beautiful. And then we turned around, left there, went to, since we won, we got to, I got to, since my team won, my little brother's team didn't, I got to choose where we went. And
Screw you, Dawson.
yeah. And we ended up going to Sonic, where they had a blizzard. And I was able to get anything I wanted because I was the player of the game. So loved that. Then we get back to the festival, and I'm going around. My work is done because I'm there for set up and tear down. So during the middle of the day when my parents are running everything, my mom gave me $20 and said, here, go enjoy yourself. So I'm walking around playing all the different games, and being 12 years old, 90% of the people there, they're going to let you have stuff for free.
Right.
So I end up going home with a big old bag full of candy and a goldfish because I won one of the like ring toss games. Went home with a goldfish. He lived for a week, but not because
Drew's a bad goldfish owner. There
why-
you go, Pete. I'm going to tag Pete in the comments.
That's why I
Also,
have-
hit the share button, guys, if you're out there. Thank you so much for watching and listening. ADHD Acres, shout out Kyle McAlpin on YouTube watching us. Thank you for watching on YouTube, and we love you, Kyle McAlpin. Shout out ADHD Acres. Go follow them on YouTube. Great channel.
Do it.
Just watched Starsky and Hutch the other day, by the way. Come on, do it.
So that was like one of my favorite memories
Holy hell, what?
I think it's resetting.
Oh, okay.
That was one of my favorite fall memories from growing up.
I think, man, fall's tough because I don't remember. Obviously, I played baseball as a kid. I don't remember if those were in the springs or if they were in the fall. I feel like they were probably in the spring, though, because I don't really remember it ever being cold. So maybe if one of my parents are watching,
I think both of them are.
yeah. So,
Whoa.
I want to hear that one. Take us. We'll read that in a second. Fall memories. That's and this is kind of as a kid. I don't have very many as a kid, to be honest with you. Not like off the top of my head. Unless my baseball, but I feel like baseball was in the spring, so I'm gonna pretend like that's not a thing. And I honestly, man, fall was I guess that's probably Thanksgiving, playing pickup football games with our family back before everybody got old, and now our family doesn't talk to each other anymore. Not because of like anything bad, just because when grandparents die, the glue's gone, brother. And I've seen it, and it's sad. But
and you all get to an age where it's just you all go start, like, you got married, so now you're with Rachel's family during some holidays, and Shelby's with Dave's family for some holidays. So it just kind of gets a little hairy around the holidays. You might still talk to each other, but it's like more, hey, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy Thanksgiving, hope you're doing well, da-da-da.
Drew doesn't let us say Merry Christmas.
I just said Merry Christmas.
Drew's scared of the word Christmas. He started with Happy Holidays, Drew.
Yeah.
We say Merry Christmas on this show.
Yes, sir.
Lucinda Ty says, sorry I'm late on my comment. Was having a problem with my phone. Happens. I'm the same way sometimes. She says, y'all need to go up to Sneads, Florida at Three Rivers Small Campground. It's about an hour. Okay, so just under 2 hours away. It's small but beautiful, and it has a playground. They usually go in April and at the end of September. Great fishing in April. Take us. I would love to go camping.
It has a playground?
Drew's going down the slide. I'm more here for the fishing. Take us. Invite us. I would love to go camping. Where it's in Sneads. Right about the grandparents being gone and it all goes to crap. Yeah, it's sad. It really is sad how it happens with families. I've seen it firsthand, and hopefully it doesn't happen on my mom's side of the family, because this will be our first holiday season without Pawpaw this year. So it's going to be kind of tough, but I don't want to get into that. So let's go. Let's move on.
Fall traditions. Do you have any fall traditions?
Football. Yeah.
Football.
College football's back, and usually being pretty pissed off by the end of it. So that's
Florida State, baby.
Florida State. I mean, even the NFL, like everything. My parlays don't hit. My college football team sucks. The NFL sucks, and my fantasy team suck. So,
well, last year didn't the Dolphins play on Black Friday?
Yeah,
they were the first Black Friday. That was at the Jets.
At the Jets, they played on Black Friday, and this year they play on Thanksgiving Day. So fun.
At least your primetime games.
Yeah, fair enough.
Speaking of football and fall traditions, every year, I think, as we've already previously stated, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure. I'm in. I'm pretty sure my.
I'll make that happen. I'm not kidding.
I'm pretty sure this is going to be the first time in the first year in, I want to say 5, maybe 7 years, that I am not going to be playing in the Turkey Bowl.
Oh, why?
Because I might be not going to Nashville for Thanksgiving.
You got to go for the Turkey Bowl.
So, we almost went to New York, and it almost caused Michaela and I to get into an argument, because I was like, no, I got to play the Turkey Bowl. She goes, you're really not going to spend Thanksgiving with my family in New York because of the Turkey Bowl? And I said, yeah.
I want to go to New York.
But yeah, I think this year I'm not. If we end up going for Christmas, I think we're gonna bank on going up to my parents for Christmas. So then we're gonna stay here for Thanksgiving to spend it with her family. So It has been a tradition. It's the Wednesday night before Thanksgiving. It is an I say an all night tournament. The first game starts at like 5, 6, 7 p.m. and it's all indoor. It's 5v5, and the championship game is usually scheduled around 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning. So, one of the last few times that I went, we ended up. My dad asked me as I was leaving. He goes, "So what are you still playing for? Like, do you get anything?" And I was like, "Bragging rights." And I was like, "Just bragging rights for the next year." And he goes, "Well, just come back home with bragging rights and a sore body." And I said, "Yes, sir. I'll take care of that." Well, we end up winning the whole thing, and unbeknownst to me, the winning team got championship rings. Just your old rinky-dink, probably $1.99 ones off Amazon, but ended up getting a few, getting a ring, and I come down the stairs. I knew my dad was already up, and my mom's making breakfast, and my dad asked me, he was like, "So do you have a sore body and bragging rights?" And I had the ring on my finger, and I said, "And a little bit more." And he goes, "What? You got that? You got a ring?" And I was like, "Yeah." So I showed it to him. I was like, "Yeah, it's obviously fake, but he thought it was the greatest thing and wouldn't let me take it off the whole day." Family came over. They were like, "What is that ring?" And I was like, "Oh, I just won the turkey bowl last night. Don't worry about it."
No big deal. Turkey bowl champ. All right, let's get one here.
Fall clothing. If you could only pick one cozy fall clothing item, what would it be?
Damn, I think my hoodie, just a hoodie.
I'm torn between
Nothing on down low. A hoodie and no pants.
Winnie the Pooh in it.
That's Tigger, isn't it? What does Pooh say? Is that Pooh? Oh, my honey. I gotta look. They touched my honey. Oh, look at the love in the comments.
Yeah.
Melt my little heart.
Go Saints. Who dat, please.
Oh.
I'm sorry. But yeah. For me, I'm torn between a sweatshirt, like a hoodie, or just a basic long sleeve. Because I love long sleeve shirts and just long sleeve shorts and a pair of long sleeve shirts.
Pumpkin spice scented hood. Hey, shout out Corey McAlpin in the comments.
Hey.
Damn right. Let's go.
Hoodie, shorts, and flip flops. All right.
Corey, I miss you guys. I love you guys. You enjoy both. Shout out to you guys in the comments. Sweet.
Yeah.
Hoodie, shorts. So yeah, proper. That's what Miss Lucinda just said. That's my ideal. Because if I can be in a hoodie, shorts, and flip flops, that's my yeah.
I like a long sleeve shirt, shorts, and a pair of tennis shoes. That's me.
He says you laugh, and I could tell you stories from back in the day with Kyle. Yeah, he was in the Army with me, bro. We had some fun times. Fun times. Everybody in the barracks saw some stuff.
That's what we're calling it these days.
Yeah, well, there was no AC in the barracks, man. Camp Landing was a dump. There was no AC in the barracks. What was I supposed to do? Walk around with pants?
This might be a dumb question.
Yeah.
But other than the Air Force, are any of them 5 stars?
I mean,
are any of them good? Aren't they all meant to be like dumps?
Because of new
Regulations.
When I say new, like over the last 15 to 20 years, because of new regulations and stuff, yeah. But I did see recently, and I'm not gonna I don't know if I can get in trouble for doing this, but Camp Blanding was always the biggest dump. And it's down in Jacksonville, Stark, Florida, that area. And I'm telling you, the mattresses were moldy, the ceilings were disgusting. And
we did I was in
that was not a fall tradition because we got to go there in our un-AC'd barracks in July. So
yeah. I did a week at Fort Benning in Georgia.
Fort Moore now, by the way.
Oh,
yeah,
lovely.
Fort Benning was offensive.
Oh, okay.
That's real.
All right.
You can look that up on your own time.
I was in high school.
I just learned that about 6 months ago.
Oh.
Fort Benning's dead.
I was a sophomore in high school in RTC, and we did a trip over fall break, I want to say, because we had gone down there and we got to experience the Army basic training and all that. And it was interesting. No.
Okay, well, you
we didn't experience exactly. That's why I put the quotations on there. It was we woke up when everybody woke up, but we all went down into formation, and when they went to go do PT, we went to go eat breakfast. And then as we're eating breakfast, as we're eating breakfast, there's like all kinds of like different platoons that come through, and they are scarfing everything down because what do you get, like 2 minutes?
Yeah, bro. Like, that's why I still to this day eat so fast, and people are like, why do you eat so fast? I'm like, I can't break that habit.
Yeah.
Plus, I'm fat.
It was like, so I'm sitting there, and I had a cup of applesauce, and there was a guy who ate his whole plate by the time that I ate my applesauce. I was like, oh my God.
I would have hated you. I would have looked over at you like, son of a bitch.
But it was the craziest thing watching the different platoons come through, and then we got to go to.
You probably saw like 8 different companies if you were in there for like 20 minutes.
Yeah,
yeah, you saw because it was
a,
when your butt hits the seat, 2 to 3 minutes.
Yeah, and if you don't finish it, you don't get it.
Yeah.
But it was like that was a very, very fun trip, and one of my fondest memories of that trip was it was during the SEC championship game. LSU was playing Georgia, and we were on one of those big coach vans.
This was back, and this had what year?
Tyrann Mathieu. Tyrann Mathieu was the he had his big like 2 punt returns for touchdowns. We won the SEC championship game pretty handily because I remember going to Golden Corral of all places. We went to Golden Corral for like
no free ads.
No free ads. Had dinner there, and on the way back, the bus driver, he went in, scarfed down his food, came back out, knew the game was on. He was a Georgia fan. We go back in, and as we're walking in, he has all the TVs, and it's all sitting up. All the TVs on the bus are set up to watch the CBS broadcast for the SEC championship game. We watched the game. I'm watching all this as we're going back to the fort.
The mind of Carson Wright, by the way. I'm getting our pick'ems ready, and this is like in my book.
And then I get back, and I'm sitting there. It felt like I was in quote unquote enemy territory because I was watching at an Army fort in Georgia, watching LSU beat up on Georgia. It was just like I'm sitting there loving everything. Everybody knows that I'm an LSU fan, and everybody's like they're playing like different games, ping pong, pool, and stuff like that in the mess hall and all that. And I'm sitting there just glued to the game. They're like, Drew, come on, we need one more. And I'm like, the game's on. They're like, you're winning like 42-12, and I'm like, I don't care. My team's on. I'm watching. I don't see Tennessee on this screen. So that was a blast.
Hey, we need a guest picker for our pick'ems. We're gonna do one more of these questions, and then we're gonna get into our picks so that we can.
I got 2 more of these.
Okay, let's do 2 more. We'll wrap them up then.
Fall travel.
I need a guest picker though, so somebody in the comments volunteer to be our guest picker tonight.
Fall travel. Where would you want to travel during fall?
Oh, man. I mean, that's easy. Honestly, if I was going to go to New York, I feel like I want to go to New York one time in my life. I've never been to New York. I don't really want to go, but I have to go. And if I'm going to go to New York, it's the true, like...
Christmas.
Well, in the fall, like, that's where, like, the big tradition is you go up there and watch the leaves turn. Like, that's one of the big things up there. So I think New York, somewhere in the Northeast, New England maybe even.
I would pause your trip for the fall, go for Christmas, because that's when it's big, extravagant, and go to Gatlinburg in the mountains. Go to the mountains in Gatlinburg.
Shelby said not it. We're not picking Oregon.
Oregon. Oregon. Sorry.
Oregon.
Gatlinburg for me. Go up into the mountains, into the cabins and all that, because it's the closest southern place that you can still get to see a lot of the leaves change, but you're still in the South and all that. So because whenever I think of holidays in New York, I think more of Christmas. That might also be a plant by Hollywood because of one of the Home Alone movies. But last one, fall sports. What's your favorite fall sport? Fall is a great time for sports with the World Series and the start of the NBA season, and most of all, football.
Why is this even a question? My God. Listen, I love baseball. Baseball was my first love. And the World Series is great.
Literally named the Fall Classic.
Yeah, it's literally like the World Series is insane, right? Especially this past year, even though it was kind of the Dodgers really dominated. It's still awesome because it was star power. Like we hate to see the big money teams get in, but you got Shohei Ohtani, Freddie Freeman, Aaron Judge, like Giancarlo Stanton, like big name, big money, big name. But the NBA sucks. Let's just be honest. Like
NBA doesn't start till Christmas.
The NBA, right? The NBA starts on Christmas, and because everybody's getting their legs underneath them right now, so I mean it's easy football. I mean it's man, there's just nothing like sitting down on Saturday, watching, like, whether you watch College Game Day, or a lot of people watch Big Noon Kickoff. And then you watch the Big Noon game on Fox, which is usually a Big Ten game because the Big Ten puts on the best 11 o'clock games, like that noon slot, right?
They had to find their niche.
Yeah, and
that's it.
Those games are always awesome. And then there's, obviously there's always some big matchup going on either in the afternoon or at night. And in some capacity, whether that matchup was like last week, it was SMU and Pitt. And obviously, there were other big games last weekend. This weekend, it's LSU, Alabama. We're not picking that game because Drew's an Alabama or LSU fan. The only reason we're picking the Dolphins game is because it's on Monday Night Football this week. So, but yeah, man, it's football is just unmatched. And the best part about football is, like, I know this goes away from the fall conversation, but football ends, and then it's like a month. And then free agency opens, and free agency is so active, and then the draft's getting ready to start. And then by the time all that's done, then you have like 2 or 3 months of training camp, and it's like the season comes back. It seems like it takes forever, but it's really not that long.
Yeah. I'm going to echo everything you said. I will
Curling.
say.
I will block you, Ross.
Cattle showing as well.
Showing. Yeah, I'm interested in that. Curling would be fun. I don't know. I could curl.
I will say the only thing that that kind of holds a candle during this time to football is probably the World Series, and it's only certain World Series because we can remember back to previous World Series, like some of them just weren't that fun to watch.
As somebody who hates the Cubs, though, like. There's moments in the World Series, like when the Cubs beat the Indians. They were the Indians back then, I could say it. To win their first World Series in like 108 years. That was special.
And it makes it, I know it's not, I know this won't ring true for you, but seeing your team in the big series, like it's a crazy one day. It brings, obviously seeing your team in a national championship game, in a World Series, in a NBA final, seeing your team going for it all.
It's been 84 years.
it makes it that much more sweet for you. And now with Facebook memories, it's brought to mind some of the where I was when the last time the Astros were in the World Series, and the different conversations I had with Eduardo, with Eddie about the Astros playing the Phillies and all that, because he's a Phillies fan. So the only thing, you talked really good about football, and you kind of hit the nail on the head with all of it. So I figured I'd ought to stick up for World Series, because at the end of the day, it's the Fall Classic, and it's the best. They say the best of the best, but ironically, it ends up being the most hottest two teams that end up getting there. But I really enjoyed the World Series this year for everything you said. It's big star power. It was everything you could ever ask for, except for going 7 and a little bit more competitive games. Like Game 1 was peak 2024 World Series.
Agree. All right, so we're going to get into our picks, making sure everybody can still see us and hear us. I don't know if my internet's having issues. I think maybe. We're going to hope that nothing's happening on the live side. So
Can you get to us?
yeah, y'all make sure, leave a comment if you can see us right now. I just pulled up the live, and it looks good here, so we'll roll with it. All right, let's move on to making our picks here. Somebody did, if you guys are watching, listening, whatever, we got quite a few viewers. Thank you guys so much for watching us tonight. This is
Yeah, we got comments.
yeah, okay.
It was total sarcasm. It's Def World Series, then football from Chef.
Why isn't that popping up?
I don't know, but I've got it on here. He replied to himself.
That's probably why. So I don't know why we can't see replies. That's an interesting. Okay. All right. Oh,
You're good. Yes, we can.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Y'all are amazing.
Yeah, we love you guys so much. All right.
Couldn't do it without you.
Somebody in the comments, Shelby, put the thumbs up. I'm guessing that means she's volunteering to be our picker. Somebody in the comments, just leave some picks, and I'll pick somebody random once we get started. All right. Cal at Wake Forest. I'll go first on this one. How we like to do it. Like to pick an unranked matchup from each conference, and this one is, not a good matchup by any means, but it's a matchup nonetheless. It's pretty even, basically. I'll take Cal on the road,
and I will go opposite and take Wake Forest.
All right. All right, so Ross has already been on the show. I don't mind putting him on here, but
Shelb said bye. You can't choose the bye week. Come on. LSU already had theirs. Florida State already had theirs. Come on. What are we doing?
Notre Dame's got one this Saturday.
Oh, so she's choosing Notre Dame. All right, cool.
I got you. Yeah. All right, we'll just do Ross. That wasn't a disrespectful thing, Ross. I was just hoping to get somebody new in there. So he took Cal. I'm going to have you keep up with the guest picks, if you don't mind, up there, and then I'll write them down if you just. All right, going over to the Big 12, UCF at Arizona State.
I'm going to take, let's go with UCF. They're picking it up as of late.
I'm going to echo that, man. They're starting to run the ball a lot better. I think that new quarterback, crazy, KJ Jefferson, just didn't work out. I think it's RJ Harvey is the dude's name. They've been running the hell out of the ball over there.
Arizona State from our guest picker.
AZ State. All right. Let's go Iowa at UCLA. I'm going to take UCLA at home here. No, I'm sorry. No. I'm going to pick Iowa on the road.
I will also go with Iowa on the road. They're going to figure something out. They have to.
Yeah, eventually, right?
I trust them more than UCLA.
Yeah, no, that's fair. UCLA has only looked good in one half of a game this season.
Lifting my natty light with you, Drew.
Ah, yes. Iowa from Ross. It's funny because Iowa can actually put points on the board, but now they don't play defense. Okay. Yeah. What a gonna call and chat with Dave. All right, love you, Shelby. Thank you for watching. All right, let's go Oklahoma at Mizzou.
This is the bad of the SEC because Mizzou looked like they were going to be okay, and then they just fell flat on their face and hasn't really impressed me. And then Oklahoma's kind of done the same thing. They got into SEC play and it's just ugh. Mizzou at home though, so I'm going to take Mizzou. Ross is taking Mizzou as well.
I am also going to take Missouri here. They're at home. Watched the Oklahoma, two Oklahoma games. I think it was Tennessee and Texas back to back, and I'm like, I don't think Tennessee's that good this year. And man, just Oklahoma cannot move the ball. Yeah. All right, let's go to Florida at number 5, Texas. Now Texas is minus 21.5 in this game, so we're going to be picking against the spread. DJ Lagway kind of up in the air right now. Is he going to play? He's not ruled out, but if he does play, he's not going to be 100%. So I think I'm gonna take Texas to cover this.
I want to take Florida. Texas covers from Ross. I want to take Florida in my head because they played so well last week. But I'm going to go against that and take Texas and say that they cover because last week was their Super Bowl.
Florida?
For Florida. Last week was their Super Bowl. They needed everything. They threw everything they had at Georgia last week. And you could say it cost them their quarterback. So at the end of the day, I think this is going to be a big resounding win for Texas.
All right. Moving on. Michigan at number 8, Indiana, and this is straight up.
I'm taking Indiana. This is about time that we take them seriously. If you look back at what they've done, you could say they haven't played anybody, but at the end of the day, they haven't squeaked past anyone. They've beat everybody pretty handily every single game. And it's not like yes, they probably haven't had the hardest schedule, but it's a difference. There's a different aura about them because they're beating everybody. They're not winning ball games 24-25.
I don't know who really has had that sexy schedule this year. So, like, I know, like, they haven't played a lot of high profile. They have a big one coming up with Ohio State here. I think either next week or the week after. So that'll be.
Yeah, they're going to have a couple of tough games, but up until now, you could say, because what was their hardest game before now? Like Michigan State. And they beat they spotted them 10 points and beat them 47-10 or something like that.
Slow start, and they still took off on them.
Like at Michigan State, if I'm not mistaken. So
yeah.
At the end of the day, and they're at the house against Michigan, and Michigan cannot talk about Oklahoma can't move the ball. Look at Michigan.
Yeah, that's tough. All right, number 21, Colorado at Texas Tech.
Colorado's doing something right, and as much of a Dion hater as I am, I'm gonna go with Colorado.
I agree with you. They just look a little bit better this year. I still don't know how good they are on a national scale. The Big 12 kind of disappointing. Like BYU is projected to get the bye right now, which is like, like you looked at the teams in the Big 12 and you're like, how's it a Power 4 conference anyway? And I don't know, man. They're just
we got a Colorado from Ross
as well. I just think
don't sleep on BYU. They can hurt you a couple different ways because they play good defense and they can run the ball and they can throw the ball when they need to.
I just thought
their quarterback's really good, but I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, don't sleep on BYU because it's the age old saying, and I know I'm going to catch some flack for this, but it's the age old saying: beat who is in front of you, and you'll be set up for success
and
as long as you don't lose your quarterback.
And always support the Mormons. Mississippi State at number 7, Tennessee. Tennessee is minus 24 in this game. I put this one in there because like Mississippi State not good, not even a little good. But can Tennessee cover 24 against anybody this year? Like,
I'm gonna go with Tennessee. They're covering at home. This is their get right game. This is where it all comes together for Heupel. Back on the hype train. This is their last midseason push.
So I'm guessing Ross, he says go Vols. So
go Vols.
I'm going to take Mississippi State to cover 24. I don't know if they're going to be much within that range, but it's more about like Mississippi State's offense is kind of firing a little bit better. Tennessee, I said this about Ole Miss last week, and they kicked the crap out of Arkansas. But, like, I haven't seen anything. Like, and I don't want to, obviously, Rick and Lucinda are big Tennessee fans, so we love you guys. So I won't spend too long talking bad about Tennessee. But I haven't seen anything to make me think that Tennessee belongs in the top 12.
I think Nico's figuring things out. I think, obviously, early in the season, you're playing lesser competition, so your stats are going to be a little more inflated. But since he's been in SEC competition, they haven't looked as crisp. I will say, on offense or on defense. They've been there, and they obviously you wouldn't be ranked number 7 if you didn't have a little bit of grit to you. So they've won games that they've should have, and they lost a game that they shouldn't have. So at the end of the day, I think there's a light at the end of the tunnel for Tennessee to be excited for. So everything's still out ahead of them. That obviously they need to keep winning ball games, and I think it starts this weekend. I think there's a week by week you see a little bit of progress from Nico, and I think he's set up for big things, especially coming in as a freshman and having all this success. Mm-hmm. So I just hope he doesn't have that. I hope he builds upon it and doesn't take a step back next year.
Fair enough. All right, South Carolina at number 24, Vandy. I'm going to roll Vandy here.
I am as well. South Carolina's a good football team. Their record doesn't show it, but they've played tough in some losses. If this game's at South Carolina, I'm taking South Carolina all day.
Okay.
But I'm riding the Vandy train, the Pavia train. I'm riding that boy.
Vandy at the hizzy. All right. Last college game, number 2, Georgia at number 16, Ole Miss.
I didn't have a lot of faith in Ole Miss. I still don't have a lot of faith in Ole Miss. I think they beat up on a worn-down Arkansas team because of some of what they've had to go through the past couple of weeks. I think I picked Arkansas in that game because I thought they were going to have the same intensity that Arkansas showed for the previous couple of weeks, but they came out flat and Ole Miss took it to them. Ole Miss figured something out, but Georgia's not Arkansas, obviously. So I think Kirby and them Dogs, and this is not a spread or anything. I think Kirby and the Dogs will walk into Ole Miss and take it.
Ross is also going to take Georgia. I'm going to do something kind of stupid here. I talked bad about them last week, and they kicked the crap out of Arkansas. At Arkansas, by the way. At Arkansas, right?
Yeah.
And they played great.
I'm happy you're about to say what you're about to say because it means good things for me.
So, I'm thinking here, right?
Uh-oh, that's where
Carson Beck is garbage.
Craziest message I saw all week, and it was from a Georgia fan saying, now you guys realize how good Ladd McConkey and Brock Bowers were.
Yeah.
Because everybody coming out of last year was saying Carson Beck was going to be a top 5 pick. He was the favorite for the Heisman, and he's come out this year and been garbage. Like, who are you?
Garbage.
Oh, it's because he's been with that the sister. One
of the Cavender twins.
Cavender twins. Yeah, he's been with them all weekend. All year.
Yeah, man. Ole Miss's defensive front is nasty. I think they're going to get a lot of pressure on him, and I think he turns the ball over. And they got some confidence rolling into this game after that game last week. I think Ole Miss gets this done. And then College Football Playoff Committee gets to lick their chops because, like, ooh, another SEC. All right.
Go Tigers.
Anyway, going to the NFL, Thursday Night Football, Bengals at the Ravens.
Ravens.
I'm going to take the Bengals on the road here. Brought in Khalil Herbert through trade. I don't think it's going to do much for their offense, but I do think it's going to take a little bit of attention off of I think it's going to take a little bit of attention off like Jamar Chase. T. Higgins hasn't practiced this week. I only know all this because I'm a Reds fan, right? So I follow a bunch of Cincinnati beat writers. I'll take the Bengals to get this win on the road.
Ross takes Ravens.
All right, so let's move on to our noon game of the week, which this game really, the Sunday Night Football game is really good too. So our noon game of the week, Steelers at the Commanders. I'm going to take the Steelers on the road in this one. I mean, Washington has looked really good. I just really like Pittsburgh's defense, and now they just added Preston Smith. I know. I'm going to write it down. You don't even have to say it. Washington did get that win, obviously, over Chicago, but golly, that cost me money, by the way.
Hey, a W is a W no matter how it comes.
Okay, it cost me money.
Oh, where we at, Ross?
Steelers at the Commanders.
Steelers.
Redskins. All right, so Steelers from Chef Ross. All right, Drew. Jets at the Cardinals.
Ew. Cardinals.
Take the Cards at home. Yeah, this game's not great. I do think the Jets got a little bit of momentum last week, beating the Texans there. So I'm gonna take the Jets here on the road to get this win.
I think they more played dress up on Halloween and wanted to actually be a football team for one night.
Yeah, fair enough. I
Just
can't
like-
argue with that.
Just like the rest of the world. That is you. Oh my God.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Please don't.
Yeah. All right. Sunday Night Football. Lions at the Texans. I'm first on this one. I'm taking the Texans to get back on track at home here. They've lost 2 in a row. They need a little bit of confidence. I think they get it here.
I'm riding with whatever Dan Campbell's got in the water going on in Detroit. The Lions went into Lambeau Field into hostile territory and brought home the W. And it didn't look like they were missing Aiden Hutchinson at all. Granted, Jordan Love was playing hurt, but at the end of the day, still being able to get pressure. And that game never seemed like it was in doubt. And Jared Goff is on a tear this year. If he's not getting MVP votes, something's wrong. Just like Ashton Genty, if he doesn't have the Heisman locked up, if Jared Goff isn't getting votes, something's off.
I couldn't agree more. And play, the Lions just got Zadarius Smith as well. So
Lions from
the
Chef
defensive
Ross.
front could be a little nice, pretty nice, I should say. I just think the Texans, they're at home and they need a win.
Yeah.
So and the Lions are kind of due to lose one. Now, I don't know if that's how the NFL works.
Law of averages.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
it's a if you're betting on it, yeah, it's a safe. I'm not gonna say. I'm not gonna continue that statement.
Take the over. I will safely say take the over. All right, Monday Night Football, last game. Dolphins at the Rams.
Puka's back. Maybe is he gonna be suspended from the punching incident?
I feel like they would have handed that down by now,
Yeah.
either today
you would
or
hope.
yesterday.
I like this is less about how much I trust the Rams and more about how much I don't trust the Dolphins. Because whenever you have one of your top wide receivers who has 2 catches for -4 yards but still a touchdown, how does that work?
Recovered a fumble at the end of the game.
Okay, because I didn't.
Ran it like 8 yards backwards.
Obviously didn't watch the game, but I have him in fantasy, and I was like, what?
Yeah, it's weird to have a player with 2 catches and a touchdown, and they have like 7.4 points. Yeah, it was great.
Huh?
Yeah.
So I'm 2 is just not 2ing this year. He's looked okay in the box score,
He's exactly Tua.
but I'm gonna go with the Rams.
Obviously, there's a big reason we usually don't pick our teams. We kind of unavoidable when they're in prime time. So I'm gonna pick the Dolphins on the road. So instead of giving you like why I think they're gonna win, I'll give you like what they need to do to win.
Yep.
The Rams secondary, they just traded Tre'Davious White. Go Tigers, right? Is that LSU?
Yeah.
Trey White, yeah. They just traded Tre'Davious White, so their secondary's a little depleted. As a Seminole fan, it's cool to say this, but this is also like without being a Seminole fan, he's got to stay the hell away from Jared Verse and Braden Fisk. Get the ball out quick, take advantage of their, I don't want to say their weak secondary, but their depleted secondary, and run the ball, get the ball out quick, and on defense, get pressure on Stafford. Like they've struggled the last 3 games, but they've played against Josh Allen, Kyler Murray, Anthony Richardson. Like not great passers except for Josh Allen with Kyler Murray and Anthony Richardson, but those are big, strong quarterbacks that can get out of the pocket. If you can get some pressure on Matt Stafford and hit him often, and I feel like our defensive line is good enough to do that, that's how the Dolphins win.
How did it? obviously a Dolphins fan here. I get it. You were excited. Take your Dolphins fandom out of it. How did it make you feel as a Florida State fan seeing the ball bounce off of Keon Coleman's chest right into Jalen Ramsey's arms?
So-
how, as a Florida State fan, how does that make you feel?
So I don't want to get deep into this because we're going to talk about this on the next Know It All podcast. But reports came out last week that Keon Coleman was telling recruits not to come play for Ron Dugans at Florida State.
Whoa.
So, and listen, Ron Dugans is a terrible wide receiver coach. So from the perspective of, a recruit, I understand Keon's point. Like,
Ooh.
these kids should not come play. But nobody knew who Keon Coleman was before he got to Florida State.
Yeah.
And he didn't put up magical numbers, but he wasn't a first-round pick before he got to Florida State. Florida State's game against LSU, because of that game, because of the primetime spotlight, he had 3 touchdowns in that game. Florida State put him in the spotlight.
Yeah.
So for me, it's like,
You're biting the hand that fed you.
yeah, so I'm on the fence with this one. I think, I obviously agree with the source material. Like, dude, Ron Dugans is terrible. Florida State should have fired him 2 years ago. Our wide receivers are garbage. They have like a 22% drop rate. And I don't know if you guys understand how bad 22% is in football. But when you drop the ball 22% of the time, it's not good.
Yeah.
And, so I was pissed at Keon all week. And then he drops the ball.
That's why you
And
sent
it-
me the text and you went, boom, ha.
Yeah.
That's
And it bounces into Ramsey's hands. And as a Florida State fan, I just sat back and I was like, fuck you. Honestly, like, good. Like, it was so poetic because obviously I'm celebrating it too because it's the Dolphins. And I'm like, man, that was so perfect.
in the red zone, like from
Ball
the 5
don't
yard
lie.
Yeah. And let me preface this statement. I had no idea you had that whole
Alley-oop, baby.
Here you go. Enjoy. Because I just asked it because kind of flexing here, LSU, and I know there are a lot of schools that can flex this, but whenever you've got a lot of people get drafted over the years, you start to see those guys line up against each other, and it's cool seeing them at the next level go against each other. And seeing best friends play against each other, like, it's really cool. So that's where more my mind was going for it. But knowing that story now, oh my God!
Yeah.
Because just a couple weeks ago, when the big SEC game of the week was LSU Ole Miss, and the game was at LSU, it was the 100 years of Tiger Stadium. And we had Shaq was there, Paul Skeens was there, Jaden Daniels was there. Like, we had all kind of people.
Was Livy there?
No. Actually, she might have been. She's still a student. But Paul, like, you could literally, they had all kind of recruits coming in because a big night game at LSU, you still want the experience. Paul Skeens is standing on the sideline pregame, talking to all of the students and basically giving a pitch for LSU, basically like, hey, where else would you want to be? We're multifaceted. You have Livy Dunn, arguably the biggest female athlete in the world. You have Angel Reese, a top 10 draft pick in the WNBA. Paul Skeens, Dylan Cruz, a top draft pick, top 1 and 2 draft picks in the MLB. Jaden Daniels, Joe Burrow, number 1, number 2 overall draft picks, Odell Beckham. Like, the list goes on and on for
Diddy
football.
parties.
Then you have Shaq with basketball. It's like,
Why not?
Where else would you want to go
Why
at the
not?
end of the day? So it means, obviously, it means something when I say it as an LSU fan, but when it's coming from straight from the mouth from Paul Skeens, who you literally just got done watching,
It's dope.
like,
I hope to one day have my team have consistent success.
I'm watching all of that and I'm getting chills just thinking about the video of watching what he was, the wisdom he was imparting on those kids. And it's just, it's crazy to think that different situations like that, whether that was set up by a football coach or set up by Paul Skeen saying, hey, I'm going to go talk to these kids because I want them to come here. Like, that's just crazy to me.
Watching Luke Weaver ball out for the Yankees was pretty cool. Like, Florida State baseball alumni. Like, he struggled for like the last 2 years, and he gets to New York and, you know, the big market where a lot of people go to collapse.
Yeah.
And then gets put in a role that he would never had to do, and like it was just cool to see, man. I also learned that Luke Weaver played at Florida State, so maybe I'm not that great of a fan.
Hunter Fiducia.
All right, guys.
Won the World Series with the Dodgers. Played at LSU. Hunter Fiducia.
So next Tuesday, we're not doing a show
Go
next
Tigers.
Wednesday. All right. So our show next week is not on Wednesday. Our show next week is on Tuesday. There's a couple reasons for that. We'll explain to you then. Danielle is going to come and do the show with us. Danielle Guillory, if you're there watching on Facebook.
She is.
She's going to come
She
do
just
the show.
said go Tigers.
Go Tigers. She's a big LSU fan, so you guys will get along great. And I would like one other person to come be on that episode. Somebody that hasn't been on the show yet. So message me or Drew. We'll try to get a full studio next week. I'm going to warn you, though. We're doing Bean Boozled. And that's the reason we want guests.
Woohoo!
We might vomit.
Enjoy the experience with us.
Come on.
Please.
Okay, I just want, like, if you want to come do the show next Tuesday night, the 12th, message me off the air. We'll talk about it. Be prepared to vomit, though, because
Let's get it.
ugh,
Let's have some fun.
next time you see me, we could be miserable. So
be.
send me a message off the air, guys, if you want to be on the show next Tuesday. Other than that, we'll get somebody booked, and we'll see you guys Tuesday, not Wednesday, Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Love you guys.